Welcome to Today in Nerd History. The Star Trek The Next Generation episode, A Matter of Honor, aired February 4th, 1989. In this episode, under an officers' exchange program, Riker serves aboard a Klingon ship whose aging captain seeks an unwarranted bloody retaliation for suspected Enterprise treachery. John Putch guest stars in this episode as Ensign Mendon. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, was released February 4th, 1994. In this movie, a goofy detective specializing in animals goes in search of the missing mascot of the NFL's Miami Dolphins. This movie stars Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, Tone Loc, and a special appearance by Dan Marino, quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. The Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Who Mourns for Morn, aired February 4th, 1998. In this episode, when Morn is reported killed in an ion storm, Quark scrambles with other opportunists to find his hidden retirement fund. The Star Trek Enterprise episode, Stratagem, aired February 4th, 2004. In this episode, the crew creates an elaborate ruse to fool the creator of the Xindi superweapon into revealing its location to Archer. The Star Trek Enterprise episode United aired February 4th, 2005. In this episode, Captain Archer must convince Vulcans, Tellarites, and Andorians to unite to find the Romulan ship. The Star Trek Discovery episode, The War Without, The War Within, was released February 4th, 2018. In this episode, the crew is faced with the harsh reality of the war during their absence. Starfleet must use unconventional tactics and sources to take their next action against the Klingons. Happy birthday, Alice Cooper, born February 4th, 1948. Alice Cooper, born Vincent Damon Furnier, is an American singer, songwriter, and actor whose career spans over 50 years. With a raspy voice and a stage show that features numerous props and stage illusions, including pyrotechnics, guillotines, electric chairs, fake blood, reptiles, baby dolls, and dueling swords, he has drawn from horror films, vaudeville, and garage rock to pioneer a macabre and theatrical brand of rock designed to shock audiences. Originating in Phoenix, Arizona in 1964, Alice Cooper was originally a band with roots extending back to a band called the Earwigs in 1964, consisting of Furnier on vocals and harmonica, Glenn Buxton on lead guitar, and Dennis Dunaway on bass guitar and background vocals. By 1966, Michael Bruce on rhythm guitar joined the three, and Neil Smith was added on drums in 1967. The five named the band Alice Cooper and released their 1969 debut album with limited chart success. The band reached their commercial peak in 1973 with their sixth studio album, Billion Dollar Babies. They broke up in 1975, and Furnier adopted the band's name as both his legal name and his stage name, beginning his solo career with the 1975 concept album, Welcome to My Nightmare. Over his career, he has sold well over 50 million records. Happy birthday, John Schuck, born February 4th, 1940. Conrad John Schuck Jr. is an American actor, primarily in stage, movies, and television. He is best known for his roles as Police Sergeant Charles Enright in the 1970s crime drama McMillan and Wife, and as Lee Merriweather's husband. Also Herman Munster in the 1980s sitcom The Munsters Today, in which he reprises the role originated by Fred Gwynne, as well as his reoccurring roles as Drawl on Babylon 5 and as Chief of Detectives Muldrew on the New York City Police Department in the Law and Order programs, especially Law and Order Special Victims Unit. He has appeared in 2 Star Trek films and 3 Star Trek spin-off series. He played the Klingon ambassador in Star Trek IV The Voyage Home, and reprises this role in Star Trek VI The Undiscovered Country. He went on to play another Klingon, the geneticist Dr. Antak, in the 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise centering on the Klingon augment virus Affliction and Divergence. In between, he made appearances as non-Klingons on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Voyager. Happy birthday, Pamelyn Ferdin, born February 4th, 1959. She played Mary Janowski in the Star Trek episode And the Children Shall Lead. She is the only co-star to have ever killed a Clint Eastwood character. In 1971's The Beguiled, she picks the mushrooms that are served to Eastwood and lead to his death by food poisoning. Her other contributions to TV science fiction is Space Academy. She played Laura, a girl with ESP. Some of her other movie credits include Daughter of the Mind, The Hand of Mary Constable, The Mephisto Waltz, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, and Toolbox Murders. She was the original voice of Lucy Van Pelt in the Peanuts series of television films and also lent her vocal talents to The Cat in the Hat, C-Lab 2020, Roman Holidays, Detention, and Charlotte's Web. Happy birthday, girl. Happy birthday, Gary Conway, born February 4th, 1936. Gary Conway, born Gareth Manello Carmody, is an American actor and screenwriter. His notable credits include a co-starring role in Burke's Law, and he starred in the Irwin Allen sci-fi series Land of the Giants. His early film credits include the cult horror films I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, How to Make a Monster, and the saga of the Viking women and their voyage to the waters of the Great Sea Serpent. Wow. In 1958, he was cast in the Manhunt episode of the Western aviation TV series Sky King. In 1960, he played Lieutenant Charles Williams in the episode Absent Without Leave of Colt 45, and was in Bourbon Street Beat. In 1966, he made a TV pilot called Assault, made by the producers of Combat, about the United States Marine Corps in the Pacific in 1942. He starred with Betty Davis in the 1972 TV movie The Judge and Jake Weiler. In 1973, he was featured in Playgirl magazine's August issue. Go look it up, ladies. He also guest starred as the murder victim in the 1973 Columbo episode Any Old Port in a Storm. His other movie credits include Young Guns of Texas, Black Gun, The Farmer, Once Is Not Enough, American Ninja 2, The Confrontation, and Liberty and Bash. He also starred in Woman's Story, which he also wrote and directed. Happy birthday, Richard Lineback, born February 4th, 1952. He is an actor who guest starred on 3 Star Trek spin-off series: Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Enterprise. Archive footage from his appearance in Symbiosis was later reused for the 2nd season Next Generation episode, Shades of Grey. Happy birthday, Jenette Goldstein, born February 4th, 1960. She played the science officer aboard the USS Enterprise B in Star Trek Generations. She also did voice work for the Star Trek Invasion. She has also appeared in several movies directed by James Cameron, most notably playing Private Vasquez in the science fiction film Aliens. The character would later serve as a partial inspiration for the character of Natasha Yar, and in fact, Goldstein auditioned for the role of Yar, the character at that time being named Maca Hernandez. She also appeared in Cameron's films Terminator 2 and Titanic. She was also featured in the Jonathan Frakes directed Clockstoppers. She also made 2 appearances in the 3rd season of 24. Remembering Ida Lupino, born February 4th, 1918, and passed away August 3rd, 1995. She was an English-American actress, singer, director, and producer, and is widely regarded as one of the most prominent female filmmakers working during the 1950s in the Hollywood studio system. With her independent production company, she co-wrote and co-produced several social message films and became the first woman to direct a film with The Hitchhiker in 1953. Throughout her 48-year career, she made acting appearances in 59 films and directed 8 others, working primarily in the United States, where she became a citizen in 1948. She also directed more than 100 episodes of TV productions in a variety of genres, including westerns, supernatural tales, situation comedies, murder mysteries, and gangster stories. She was the only woman to direct episodes of the original Twilight Zone series, as well as the only director to have starred in the show. She appeared on screen in the episode The 16mm Shrine and directed the famous episode The Mask. She continued acting until 1970s. Her directing efforts during these years were almost exclusively for TV productions such as Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Thriller, the aforementioned Twilight Zone, Have Gun Will Travel, Honey West, The Donna Reed Show, Gilligan's Island, 77 Sunset Strip, The Rifleman, The Virginian, Sam Benedict, The Untouchables, Hong Kong, The Fugitives, and Bewitched. She died from a stroke while undergoing treatment for colon cancer at the age of 77. Her memoirs, Ida Lupino, Beyond the Camera, were edited after her death and published by Mary Ann Anderson. Happy birthday, Michael Beck, born February 4th, 1949. John Michael Beck Taylor, commonly known as Michael Beck, is an American actor. He is known for his roles as Swan in The Warriors and Sonny Malone in Xanadu, Lieutenant Commander Dallas in Megaforce, and Coda in Triumphs of a Man Called Horse. He has appeared in other movies such as Warlords of the 21st Century, Wes Craven's Chiller, Gone to Texas, and Forest Warrior. He played Hans Helms in the 1978 TV miniseries Holocaust, and starred with Michael Pear in the CBS police drama Houston Nights. He was in TV shows such as Jag, Walker, Texas Ranger, In the Heat of the Night, and as the Mars-born terrorist turned cyborg assassin Abel Horn in the Babylon 5 episode Spider in the Web, and as Mr. Jones in the spin-off series Crusade. He has narrated numerous audiobooks of John Grissom's novels and also narrated Confederates in the Attic, A Darkness More Than Light, State of the Union, and the unabridged version of Bill Clinton's My Life. He also reprised his role as Swan in 2005, lending his voice to the popular video game adaptation, The Warriors. Happy birthday, Jim O'Hare, born February 4th, 1962. He is perhaps best known as Gary, or Jerry, Gergich on NBC's Parks and Recreations. He played the Jai husband in the Star Trek Voyager episode Critical Care. Well, that's it for today, folks. I appreciate you listening, and if you enjoyed the show, please feel free to tell your friends about little old me here. Have a wonderful day.